So 2 days ago, I got off a call with my friend, and ever since I've been kind of thinking about something he said. And so let me start off with the situation first of all. We're both interested in self-improvement. He's rather new to it, so he doesn't have as much experience, I would say. And even before self-improvement, he was he was kind of the guy who only played video games, didn't go out, never had a girlfriend, still doesn't. He's a bit skinny, I'm not gonna mention his name. He's socially awkward, I would say. Somewhat confident, which binds with illusion if you don't have anything to show up for. But yeah, as I said, he doesn't have any dating advice, nor experience. And I have a girlfriend right now, which gives me a bit more credibility than he does. A girlfriend of longer than a year. And so he was asking me about some advice, or we were rather talking about it. And we went to the gym a couple months ago. And there I kind of told him, since his style isn't good, he dresses like a bit below average, I would say. And the average is already enough. In the gym I told him that he initially should only focus on his appearance. If he wants to get a girlfriend, genuinely just focus on your appearance for now. And that will be it. And I'm gonna connect this with Arrogance now and how it links back to the title of the video. And his reaction was, I kind of could tell that he was a bit arrogant by his reaction. It was kind of like, he did this, like, and you could see by his eyes, he's like, doesn't believe me. And anyway, before we get to the teaching of the video, he a couple months went by, and when we were on the call 2 days ago, he said, the things you told me at the gym. So I basically gave him advice for, we talked about for half an hour, 1 hour straight, while we were also working out, so it was kind of fun, not just obviously for me teaching him or anything. He said, I wrote it down here, I already cut out of my mind the things you said to me at the gym, signaling how unimportant he finds my viewpoints. And the video is not me crying about how someone doesn't agree with me. The video is about how arrogant it is to say of him. He never had a girlfriend, never really managed to talk to a girl, has absolutely no experience with any type of girl, whether it's casual or long term. And here he judges the advice that I give him, someone who has a girlfriend, who has had girlfriends. And so initially when I heard it, I was a bit mad, because here I am trying to give him advice of my experience, out of my pain that I went through, and he still goes on about how he doesn't want to, how unimportant my advice is. But then I realized that, okay, I guess he was mad that he could not make sense of my advice, because he obviously, someone who has no experience in terms of girls or anything would go, okay, well obviously your looks isn't everything, obviously, like you have to talk and you have to know how to walk and stuff like that. And here's where my advice comes in. I told him to only focus on his appearance for now, because that's the most important thing. And I guess he couldn't see the bigger picture that I meant. And his arrogance ignored the complete fact that we have a difference between each other, and he doesn't have the same experience or the same viewpoints as me, which also means that he can't understand the same things that I understand, even when I tell him. If a rich person tells me not to save money, but rather earn it, and I go, oh, you're a millionaire, but your advice is bullshit, then how asinine can it be of me? So I kind of thought about the situation. I wasn't really hurt, and I was initially, to be honest. And I thought this is important to make a video for me to watch later. And I know there's everybody, like I have so many friends, including myself at times, struggling with this issue of arrogance, of thinking that you know things better. And in a way, this isn't me coming up with this, because I've heard about videos mentioning this, but I haven't seen a video really thoroughly going through this. So let's get back to the point. I was initially mad because I'm someone who obviously takes pride and effort in their opinions. Like, I don't just throw out shit. Like, it's not like I never had a girlfriend or anything and now I'm throwing stuff like, oh, girls like the color red if you wear it. No, I'm not. But I didn't say a word back when we were on a call 2 days ago, and I just thought to myself how arrogant it must be of him to not take my advice or to not take any advice of someone who's more experienced. And it's okay to not understand the points of your, I don't want to say superiors, but of people who are more experienced than you and who have a greater say in things because they're more successful in that field. Maybe it's making money, fitness, dating. But judging them as asinine, which basically means stupidly stubborn, for those who don't know. And this video is not going to be too long, but what I'm trying to say here is ego and arrogance are important in motivation. And obviously everybody has it. I have it as well. When I hear advice that's of someone who I might not make sense of, my initial reaction is, okay, I know it better. Why would I listen to them? But here's my point. If there's a difference between you and them, you never benefit off thinking that you know it better than them. Even if you actually do. Even if my advice was actually bad, bullshit, whatever you want to call it. Him assuming that maybe my advice would be valid is only beneficial. So here goes out to you, the person who's listening right now. This especially goes out for men, but this is what my channel is kind of dedicated to for now, is when someone gives you advice, whether they're correct or wrong, try to understand their viewpoints. And if you don't, which is completely normal because maybe you're not on the same level of experience in order to even comprehend what they're saying or make a link or connection to it, just hear them out. Just hear them out, respect it. As long as the person doesn't have any bad intention, even if you think they do, just listen. Nothing comes out of arrogance and you can't conquer anything. I've told him to change. Here's the important thing. I've told him to change his appearance 6-7 months ago. And he told me, no, I need to work on my social skills. And he doesn't look good. So then I told him, I didn't argue with him or anything. It was more like, okay, his name X, I'll call him Max. Okay, Max. Let's say your social skills are very good. Does that mean that you still won't work on your appearance? And the thing is, it gives you a level of confidence to talk to anybody as soon as you're important, you have a stance, whatever. So let's not beat around the bush. The point is, what I'm trying to say is, arrogance kind of keeps you at a limit. Here's you, the person who's trying to escape anything, any type of barrier, whether it's financial, financial, dating, anything. And here's a barrier that you're trying to jump over. And every time it hits your head, this is most likely, because it was for me as well, and it sometimes still is, which is still something everybody has to work on. This is mostly arrogance. And if you are watching this, the video, who the person's kind of made of, or who I take into consideration when talking about these things, if you had taken my advice that I gave you about 6 to 8 months ago, instead of taking your arrogance aside, you actually would have made progress. Within the last 6 to 8 months, I told him to change his style, appearance, fitness, bulk up, whatever, because he's very skinny. You would actually be somewhere in life, and you would not be waking up with the same feelings every morning and suffering the exact same way you did and complaining. I know you're not a bad person, but your arrogance still gets the best of you. So this was my advice or my viewpoint about arrogance overall.